Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. We're getting ourselves together this morning. Good morning. Tuesday morning. I'm Jackie Glass, Mama, Navy vet, certified doer and the laced up legislator for the House of Delegates, 89th District. Working for the 93rd. Hello. Welcome. It's a blessing to see you guys today. So much going on. And I first want to start by thanking. Good morning, Mr. Little. Good morning. I'm trying to see who's here on. Good morning. How you doing? Um, uh, we start our day by thank you the folks that came out this weekend to Norfolk Can Fly. Gratitude so much. Good morning, Mr. Ville. Norfolk Can Fly was an amazing event out at the airport. We had this Saturday over 200 people showed up. We had about 5 or 6 different aircraft, an aircraft simulator. We had, we had a Black female pilot. We had Norfolk International Airport, the Military Aviation Museum, just so many people present, so many people getting access and opportunity and learning about career fields in aviation. It was a blast. It was amazing. It was great. We, this week, some things we have coming up. I just want to put it on everybody's calendar. Be on the lookout for Summer School for Certified Doers. That is where we teach the legislative process. So if you're sitting here right now and you're thinking, I have a good idea that I think the Commonwealth of Virginia needs to do, this is your time to learn about the process to get on board, to be able to turn your idea into a bill and possibly turn your bill into a law. It's work, but it's all worth it. We will have 2 sessions, one virtually and one in person. We're nailing out the details for the in-person one, and that information should be coming out this week. So be on guard, be ready for Summer School for Certified Doers, because June will probably be our start date. But I would like to know right now, though, if anybody have any ideas or things they want to see happen in the Commonwealth, bills, things you want to see change. What I think is important to note is that I've explained this before, but the Dillon rule is an important part of the way our Commonwealth operates. And if you don't know what the Dillon rule is it's actually, it comes from this judge. His name was Judge John Dillon out in Iowa back in the 1800s, 1868 thereabouts. And it's pretty much a cornerstone of municipal, meaning, our local law. It or the way we do law, it maintains that the political power of the state is connected to the local government. So it means that the state pretty much, if the state has the answer to whether or not the local government can have certain powers, and it defines as part of, like, it grants rules, it decides what so it's really important, right, that at the state level we understand that there is a lot of oversight, a lot of, like, certain cities can't do, even the way we set up our council and things like that. It's determined by the Dillon rule. So if you've ever been like, why can't my local government do this, why can't they do that, cite cite the Dillon rule. Cite the Dillon rule that's been around for quite a bit of time. That is the way it is. So we give powers, we decide how fairly they're granted, and we pretty much determine the existence of local government. All right. You need to know that, because I hear people like, the government, local government. Yeah, because we forget about the state government having lots of rule, lots of power over the local government. Good morning. I see you guys on Instagram, just waving to folks on Instagram. Thanks for showing up. Thanks for being here this morning. So that's important. Stephen says, good morning, Delegate. This is from Hampton. We met at, hi. Hi, How you doing, Councilman? Very nice to meet you this morning. Glad that you're here with us for the morning dew for certified doers. That means you get up and you get at it. What I will say is, if you're on right now, if you have any specific issues, concerns, questions, comments that you feel like you want to drop, go ahead and drop those in the chat. This morning, drop them in the chat. We'll go ahead and address them. Do not forget, if you have any community events that you want me to put out at 6:55, because I will do that at 6:55. I'll go ahead and put out any community events that are coming up during the week. So drop them in the comments right now. Today I decided, I said, let's really do some listening. So I really want you guys to use the comment section today because it's going to be super important. We will be dropping down from 2 days a week to 1 day a week. And I'll just say why. What I notice is we have the same culmination of people that come on Tuesdays and Thursdays, which is great. I'm so glad you guys are ride or dies, that you're here, that you're here. You're funny. That you're here with us in these mornings. But I do want to make sure that the time is invested in a beautiful way. I will invest my Tuesday mornings in other ways to be of service. However, I do want you guys to know that next week we will go down to just Thursday mornings at 6:30 a.m. As I wait for you all's feedback on the things you have going through. Hey, Instagram, just wait as I go through the feedback. I just want to put a note out there that we have started in an effort to ensure that we are doing a better job at hearing you, at being able to get you guys on the calendar. I'm going to the website right now just to make sure that it's gone live. Yesterday, I had our team work really hard on getting an appointment form so that if you all wanted to connect with us, and I'm seeing if it's live yet, but I do want to put it out there. If it is not, okay, it hasn't gone live yet. But I will ensure that you all are abreast of the new form we have. We will have a form on the website where you can directly go in and pick a time to talk to me or one of my staff members. Just to manage your expectations, oftentimes you will interface with one of my staff before you interface with me, because there's a lot of things happening, right? Oftentimes I'm here, there, everywhere, realizing that I have to balance two worlds. I have a day job and this job, but I do have full-time staff that can support and answer legislative questions and also do information or referral if there's any other things that you need emergent, right? In emergency. If there's something that you'll need within less than 24 hours, then my suggestion is always, and I'll get the banner scrolling down here at the bottom so that you can see, I'm going to always suggest that if you need something within 48 hours, to either email, and you see the email. If you're on Instagram, it's email Del, like DEL for Delegate, J for Jackie, Glass at house.virginia, spelled all the way .gov. Again, Facebook, it's scrolling across the bottom. Also, if you can call our office, always 757-472-1293. Again, 757-472-1293. I'm looking for the comments. I'm seeing what y'all dropping over here. Conrad said he wants to know how things in Hampton over there. Councilman Brown. How things over there in Hampton. I know that we sort of have this thing right now that we're going through between us and Hampton with the police chief and all these things. Know that we're holding that in our hands. We're trying to just get people to understand. We don't, as a state official, while the Commonwealth of Virginia state legislator has a lot of power over what does or does not happen on the local levels, we don't necessarily get to be the decision makers at the local level. I am a support element, right? What I love to do is interface with the local government and ask what are the wants, needs, and drives? What do we need to go to the Commonwealth to ask for? A lot of times that's money. Sometimes that's money and legislation. Last year, interface with the local government very early on about vacant properties, right? Because their powers, remember I said about their powers were limited in what they can do when a property was deemed vacant. And actually there was a Hampton legislator, Delegate Ward, that Hampton was doing something similar. So they ended up having another delegate from Norfolk carry that bill, and we worked on trying to get how we register the vacant. Because if you have a property on your block in your neighborhood that's been there while blight, the powers that your local government can do to ensure that it doesn't stay that way, it's limited. And I know that we don't like that. we don't like pieces of that. So just putting that out there so that there's a definite, clear understanding of what is or is not happening. So I'm looking again. Good morning, Travis. Good morning, Lamont. Good morning. I've already told everybody, if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, go ahead and drop them in the chat. If you've got some insight, some things you need us to know, something you want us to talk about, please go ahead and put that in there. And here's what's interesting. Councilman Brown from Hampton says, thanks for explaining to Dylan Rule. I find myself explaining this to folks often. I go through things like this because I know it's something that the local government probably has. We need to tattoo it somewhere so that we can get people to be more participatory with the state level and understanding how we need to interface with each other as state and local government. So Councilman Brown, thank you for taking the opportunity to explain that to folks instead of saying we can't do it. Remind them that we have to get the Commonwealth of Virginia to allow us to do X, Y, and Z. It is it's really important. Shar says, we appreciate taking time to educate your extension. I hope you planned a vacation for you and your family to get ready for the I have not, but I will say that my chief of staff yesterday on our communications call said to me that, said to the team, and, gave me side eye when she said it. I felt like I heard side eye over the phone, said, Jackie's not going to be available that week because she's going to do something with her family. She's going to take some time with her family. I said, where are we going? She said, I don't know, but you're not going to be doing this. So I will take some time here pretty soon next month to sort of get my life right. I do not have a primary, so that gives me a little bit of flexibility to be, present and do some things. However, I do have a general election in November, so I do have a Republican challenger to face off against in November. And that's why I say, if you want to stay abreast of the things that we're doing, right? You're like, what the heck is going on? I didn't know you had this event. I didn't know you were going to be here. Like tonight we'll be at Lindenwood Civic League. Please go ahead and subscribe to our newsletter. That is the thing, right? If you want, that is the thing. Subscribe to the newsletter, stay abreast of where we are, what we're doing, where we're going, and also support. No money, no mission. We're on a mission right now to do some really amazing things. We've kicked out the Norfolk soil sponge project, and there's a couple more things to come. So you all, it's a coming. There's some great things coming. Don't forget, at 6:55, I'll be rolling off community events. So if you got any community events, go ahead and drop them in the comments. Travis says, is it possible to tax vacant properties more? Virginia gives farmers and forester tax breaks because it's beneficial to the state. These blighted properties hurt our communities and cost us money. So maybe we could tax them more, tax them their best use market value instead of the current market value. Well, that's a great question, Travis. What we often find is sometimes these blighted properties, it's very difficult to find the owners. Right. So if you're on Instagram, that was a question from Facebook. Travis Davis asked, as we spoke about vacant properties, that can be very difficult to do. So there's twofolds where the city has to know who owns the property to be able to cite them and notify them, do proper notification that the property is considered vacant. And there's several things that make that determination. Utilities haven't been on in the property for 6 months, a certain amount of time, that visible inappropriate damage. I'm saying appropriate because I don't want to use the wrong words. There's a whole huge hole in the roof. We can see it from the sidewalk. the grass has been overgrown. You know, there's these certain criteria that determines whether that property is vacant. And then there's that piece. So oftentimes when you see there's a vacant property or things like that, that doesn't, the taxes sometimes are not being paid on them. And sometimes when the taxes are being paid on them, it's a whole process just to get that person to court, to get them to pay or get them to court to take care of whatever needs to happen. Because with grass, the city will come in and they'll cut it, right, and then they'll charge that tax on that property owner for what it was. You'll see grandma's property left to the family hasn't been. So there may be a possibility of having something like that. However, that's something we'd have to talk about more deeply. I think I would have to ask some more questions, but I know that was an issue that oftentimes with those types of property, you're just trying to find who owns the property. I mean, someone to even step up and say that they're responsible for the property at this point. Here we go. Yes. So good question. I hope that you come to summer school or that you interface with us over the summer if that's an issue that's huge to you, because we're going to be building up legislation. Carrie, thank you so much for putting this out there. Early voting is at City Hall right now from 9 to 5 all the way through the 17th. And I think that Saturday and that following Saturday, 2 Saturdays, the last 2 Saturdays that there will be. And if you have not already early voted, go ahead and get it done. If not, the last day to vote is going to be June 20th. The last day to vote is June 20th. Polls are open from 6 to 7 p.m. And here's the website. Carrie, you are amazing. Norfolk.gov/706 Office of Elections. I'll go ahead and bring that up just so that we I'll see if I can bring that up if we got some time here. I appreciate it. Oh, yeah. Okay. Charlene, this is what I appreciate. Y'all get on me. You must take care of your mental health. Yeah, I am. I'm going to do the best job that I can of taking care of. I will take some time off here pretty soon. So thank you, Charlene. I know that I appreciate the nudges, and I feel like this is not a gentle dove. This is the backhand slap. Take some time. Yes, ma'am. I know I'm grateful. Thank you for keeping me honest. Okay, so Bill Jones says, please remember to reach out and check on our veterans as we are closer to Memorial Day. The sense of loss of friends they've served with becomes more extremes. I also want to gently nudge my sister and brother vets to work on their... Bill, I hear you. Message received. So again, here's what I love about this time is that we get a little bit of accountability. Bill is absolutely right. That what we don't realize is Memorial Day. It's not, for many of us, it's not a barbecue. It is a time of loss. That those of us that have lost folks, families, friends, veterans that have lost folks that were in the military. Memorial Day is about those who pass. Veterans Day is about those who live. It can be really hard. And I'm up here wearing my veteran hat too. Memorial Day is oftentimes difficult for me as well. I was a military escort. And I would tell, I don't talk about it much, but it was probably the most challenging assignments that I had in my entire military career was escorting the personal effects and the body of a service member to their family, which was in San Diego. And Ronald, I see you down there in San Diego. I went from Florida to San Diego to escort to escort one of my shipmates back home to her family. And it's real. And I hear the gentle nudge about taking care of their benefits is because I have been one of those veterans that have interfaced with the VA system and not taking advantage of the rights that I have with regards to my medical care. And Bill is telling me do it. And Bill, I hear you. It is hard. I won't sit here and lie and say like it's just an easy thing to go back to the VA and say I'm going to do it. It's hard. I need the accountability, and I'm going to do it. I keep saying that. I know that, but it's hard for me as well. So thank you for that nudge. And to all the other veterans out there that haven't gotten the medical care that you need for one reason or another, or maybe you're just not sure, it is people like Bill out in the community. You can touch base with me. I'll build that bridge to folks that'll be able to help you to take that step to get your benefits right, get the help you need. And I'm talking to the woman in the mirror. Look at me talking to talking to myself. Absolutely. Good morning. I saw that Ronald Travis said, if taxes aren't being paid, those property don't get sold on sale. Maybe that takes years. Yep, it takes years. And are there faster solutions? Yep, that's exactly what we were talking about. If you weren't here before, we were talking about blighted property and taxes. Let me just make sure. Hey, good morning. Thank you guys for joining us on Instagram. I'm just reading comments here from Facebook right now. If you've got any community events, drop them in the chat or anything you want to be a part of. But that was part of it, is how do we expedite that? But also we don't want to expedite that process and have cities that take advantage of it, because there's other side to some of these things these laws that we make. There may be an unintended consequence where you have a locality that abuses the power to take property, which we've seen historically in the past, specifically in redline Black neighborhoods or non-white neighborhoods, where there has been cities that have taken the opportunity to just snatch up people's property very quickly. So we're juggling the human factor in all of this. So yes, I hope that you're able to make it and if you're not able to make it to summer school when it happens, it's fine. You can set it on the site, on the website. Like I said, we're making time where you can sign up to connect on legislation and what we're doing from there. Carrie says, did you know Lurchmont Neighborhoods is hosting an inaugural? Wow. I didn't know that. So Bill, if you're out there, or any veteran, Lurchmont is hosting its inaugural parade. Invite your friends to honor those we lost. If you can, Carrie, if you have more details on that, if there's a website, if there's a web page that folks can go to, y'all hear that Lurchmont is having a Memorial Day parade honoring the friends that we've lost. I'd love to hear more. Yeah, I'm hanging in there, Ronald. I'm not letting go either. Charlene says, good morning. If you're still here, Councilman Brown, thank you for joining us. So Ronald says, the VA is not as friendly as people think. And I think, the unfortunate thing sometimes for folks in the VA is why I have empathy, is they're like me as a delegate. They have their full-time problems. That they're over problems working. They're working full time, but the problems are working overtime. They have quotas. They have things that they have to go through, and it can be an abrasive process, or it can be, I can have really good treatment, and sometimes the treatment that I'm being put through is very biased. I will tell you, I tried to go through therapy at the VA, and they sent me to a group therapy. I was the only one. In order to get what I needed, I was forced to work a process by where I was put in a room with a bunch of dudes that were all trying to guess why I have PTSD, or making side comments of why I have PTSD, which is like, we're all here because we have this. Like, why are we honed in on? And I ended up becoming a counselor in the room, and the counselor, it's unfortunate for that person that, anyway, sometimes they have people that their hearts are in it, but they don't necessarily have the lived experience to bridge the gap with veterans. Sometimes it's just ignorant mistakes in the process that don't allow for them to take care of the full scope of the veteran. And it's hard, but my husband's a veteran. He's been going to the VA. He's had amazing experiences thus far. I've seen him get the help that he needs. So I have faith in that everybody's experience with the VA is not the same, but I don't think that the federal level needs to take away any funding from it either, because it needs it. And I feel for the doctors and the folks, the staff there, because they do have to push people along. So that's real. Yolanda says, I'll go with you if you can send your form against. I am disabled. All right. I am a disabled vet. I have my percentage. There's a particular part of my career that I have not claimed. I'll be really honest with you. I just have not the issues that I have been exacerbated over the years. So I have that. I just need to file for an increase, and I need to actually claim something, and I'll be candid with y'all. I have military sexual trauma. I have never claimed it, just sort of pushed it to the back of my mind. Not like it didn't happen, because I don't live my life like it didn't happen. I just have not received help for it or compensation for that. So I'm working on that. I think I'll get to a point where I'm ready to walk down that path. I don't know that I'm ready yet, but I want to know that the will the will is there. I'm trying. But Yolanda, yes ma'am, and yes ma'am, and I will keep that in mind, because it is sometimes difficult walking up in there. That's why I wear this hat sometimes, to be like, look, I'm up here for help. Travis says, Lurch by Memorial Day Parade. Do you want to walk in, Jackie? It's a short parade. Depends on the day and the time. So I just need to make sure, if you guys can send, try either way, Carrie or Travis, if you can send the office the details, just to know what I have on my calendar. And let me say that too, sometimes, guys, when you have things you want me to come to, you can go to the website and submit to say, hey, I want you to come to my event. There's a way to do that on the website as well. But I push you over to, not push you, I guide you to our staff, because oftentimes I don't have the full scope of my calendar like in my head. And that gives people on the team the proper time and the proper the scope to look and see what I have, rather than me promising, over promising and under delivering, and say I can be there and I can't. I don't want to do that. That's why I have a staff to help me with that, because there's a myriad of things going on. So please just send it to the office. You can call the office. Everything's scrolling at the bottom. And there's that. If you want to host events, you want to, that's for contributions, but all of that's at the bottom. You can call or email the office and see if I can show up. Thanks, Ronna, for agreeing. Next time I go to the wrong place to vote, I'll check. Next time I go to the wrong place. Hey, I don't want you to go to the wrong place to vote. I want you guys to check. If you go to elections.virginia.gov, verify your polling places, verify where you're supposed to go. And I'm going to make sure they're right. Elections vote. Let me make sure. Let me double check, because I don't want to make sure. I want to make sure I'm saying they're right. I think it's vote.elections.virginia.gov. Let me make sure. I want to make sure I'm putting out. Hold on. Registration. Let's go. Yeah, go to vote.elections.virginia.gov. View your info. Let me make sure how to register. I'm just making sure we're on the citizen portal. That's exactly what it is. You go to the citizen portal. Here we go. There he is. Yes, it's vote.elections.virginia.gov. Vote.elections.virginia.gov. I'm going to say that again. Vote.elections.virginia.gov. I vote in elections in Virginia government. That's how I remember. So make sure you go, and you can go there too. And I'll share my screen real quick, because we've got over just about 3 minutes. There we have it. So here, actually, I just did I do this wrong? I did, but let's go down to the citizen portal, right? This is the citizen portal. What you can do is you can register to vote. You can check your registration status, find your polling place, and apply for absentee by mail. If you want to restore, if you're looking to restore Virginia. I just did this for a gentleman the other day. If you want to restore, if you're looking to restore, just go to restore.virginia.gov. Know that process is a little bit different. What they'll do is you'll go through to check your status, or you'll request your rights to be restored, and they'll set you up with an appointment, which is a little bit different. Oh no, that wasn't the right. Oh goodness, guys, you weren't following me. Let me stop sharing my screen. I thought that you guys were with me on that one, but let's go here. Yep, let's go here. Share. All right. So here, if you're trying to if you're trying to restore your rights, go to restore.virginia.gov, restore. And this is the page. So that don't have to go through all that form, request for them to be restored, or check the status of your civil right to vote. Lastly, I'll go ahead and show this page. This is what the Department of Elections, that vote.elections.virginia.gov. You can register, check your status, find your polling place, apply for absentee ballot. Sound good? Sound good? Hopefully that sounds good to you. That's what we want you to do. Get yourself together, get out there, get voting. I just claimed it by saying it's a major step. Thank you, Miss Yolanda. Can Travis or anybody, can you tell us what time the parade is? Let's see. Miss Yolanda says, what day and time is the parade? Please let us know. Thanks, Travis, for email. Do I get a chance to review the invites? I do. Most times when people are inviting me and stuff, they'll tell me, hey, you have an invite. What I'll do is if you have a question about an invite, Elizabeth, like, oh, did you get it? Maybe we'll start just letting people know that we won't be able to attend when I think we do. But I get to see the invitations, but make sure you send it to the Delegate account. Sometimes I get on my personal email, I get tons of stuff and I have to forward to the Delegate account so folks can take a look at it and make sure that I have the bandwidth to do it. So yes, but if there's something particular, do not hesitate to call or email the office. And I know you, my friend, so you can text me and I'll forward it to my chief of staff too. Ms. Karen for the Youth Earn and Learn says, our United Way project inclusion class is having a building community through service program at Norfolk State today at 6 p.m. Do you know what building it is in? If you can share what building or location it is. Project Inclusion is a program that helps prepare people to serve on boards, commissions, authorities. It really is trying to help diversify what that looks like if you yourself have not applied for a board, commission, authority. Please do. And if you're not sure, like, what does that even mean, Delegate Glass? What does that even... That's fine. Holler at me because we will go through the list of boards, commissions, and authorities, and we'll find something that fits for you, right? Like there are things. So like right now we have a veterans, a commission of veteran services. We have a military economic development council here. That is a board in Norfolk. There's so many different ways to be a part. We want you to do that. But yes, if you can drop the location at NSU tonight, or a link to a website that people can go to, or maybe they can go to the Project Inclusion page. Let me know so that I can get more details out there. All right, so for those of you guys looking for the parade is at 10 a.m. At St. Patrick's. It travels to Lurchmont United Church. Starts at 10 a.m. at St. Patrick's, then travels to Lurchmont United Church. So there you have it, 10 a.m. Thank you so much for sharing that. You're welcome, Miss Yolanda. Bill Travis says thank you. Yolanda, the parade is Monday. You may have saw that in the chat. And Miss said they'll be okay. So for the Project Inclusion event tonight, building community through service, it's tonight at 6 p.m. It'll be at the Nursing and General Education building. At 6 p.m. Booyah. And thanks, Carrie. Carrie's on top of it, getting more stuff out there on the socials today. All right, that's our time. I've been over. Please remember, this is the last Tuesday that we'll be doing this. We will only be doing the morning due for certified doers on Thursday mornings. Mark your calendar. We'll go through the events of the week. We'll roll ourselves in the weekend. We'll go through it again, and we'll go ahead and put that up on the next Thursday. So keep that in mind. This is the last Tuesday that we're doing. Hope to see you guys on Thursdays. Every Thursday we'll be there at 6:30 a.m. doing what we do. Have your community events ready. Have your questions ready, because that's what we do. Doers get more done. Thank you guys for joining us over here on Instagram if you're there. Until next time, I'll see you guys Tuesday. Catch you in these streets. Don't forget to subscribe for the newsletter so you know what the heck's going on. Please consider donating to our mission. My friend tells me again, no money, no mission. We have things that we're trying to knock out, we're trying to do within the community, and it costs. that's it. All right, you guys, make it a great day. Be well. See you.